take a few little movements here to get your back body to feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more in touch with the ground underneath. And then allow that back body to take space. So maybe your shoulder blades can move out a little bit more. Maybe the back of your head could slide back. You might even try pressing the tops of your shoulder blades a little further into the ground and notice then all that space that appears in the fronts of the shoulders, your chest. And even take your toes, lift them, spread them, and then let them land on the ground. So you're taking some space also with your feet. And then with your hands on the front of the body, just notice if there is movement there. And free up your breath so that the rib cage can move. Maybe feel the belly move up and down, left to right and back in. Maybe you can also feel that your chest has some movement as you breathe. So you could think about your breath here as a breath that finds spaces in the body. As you breathe in, imagine areas of the body opening up. And then on your breath out, those areas kind of soften, but don't close up. And then as you inhale again, you might reach a little further in those areas that feel a little bit more compressed, a little tighter. And as you exhale, you soften, you let go. And try that a few more times. Without forcing, so don't stress too much with the breath. But allow that expansion of your inhales to arrive to those edges of the body. And allow those exhales to be a softening, a bit more of a release. And for the next 3 breaths, see if you can hear the sound of your breath. And then we'll begin to add a bit more movement, and we'll start with the neck. So you don't really need to change anything here. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, allow the chin to go towards the right shoulder. So you're turning your head to the right, but press the left shoulder blade down. Take a breath here. And then guide the chin back through center. And then chin towards left shoulder as you press that right shoulder blade down. And take a breath here. And then come back through center. Do it one more time at your own pace, maybe just a breath. To the other side. And then bring the head back through center. You can open your arms out into a T and then drop your knees towards the left and now turn your head towards the right. Pause for a moment, find a bit more space in the right side, maybe walk your right arm overhead. And then return through center, knees and head. And then take it over to the other side, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Press that right shoulder blade down, maybe walk your left fingers overhead and take a breath in. And out. And then come back through center, bring those knees back through center, walk your feet in if you had them wide and bring the right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then guide that right knee towards your right armpit as you let your left knee open towards the left. And then return both feet down. Bring the left knee into your chest this time. Give it a squeeze. And then let your right knee drop towards the right any amount. Maybe you come onto the pinky side of that right foot. And take a breath. And then return through center. Bring both knees into your chest, the hands behind the knees. And then rock a little bit forward and back. You might even come and sit on your sit bones or come up all the way onto sit bones and toes and then roll back. Maybe your legs go overhead. Take another one like that. And then we'll return to lie on our backs. Keep the right knee drawing into your chest, plant your left foot. This time hands behind your right thigh as you bend and straighten through your right leg a few times. My knee just made a big crack. A good one, not a bad one, I think. And then the next time that your leg is more straight, begin to rotate your right ankle a few times in both directions. And then flex that right foot, drawing the toes towards the shin, and walk your hands towards your ankle. And then from here, stay or lift the forehead towards your knee. Your shoulder blades are lifted too. Maybe stay or let go of the leg. It stays in the same place, but your hands reach towards the top of the mat. Think about drawing lower back towards the mat, your lower ribs a bit closer to your belly button. Another breath in. And then on your exhale, release. Lower that right foot down and bring the left knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze and then bring the hands behind the thigh as you bend and straighten your left knee. A few times here. And keep your sacrum down. Press that left hip down too. The next time that your leg is more straight, find some rotation through your ankle, maybe a wiggle through your toes a few times. Both directions. And toes draw towards you. Walk your hands up the leg or towards the foot. And you could stay or you could roll up, forehead towards knee. Think about your elbows drawing towards one another in front of you, and then maybe staying or releasing the leg as you reach your fingers forward, but the leg stays in the same place. Lower back presses down. Take another breath. And then exhale and release. Heel to toe your feet wide. Open your arms out into a T and drop your knees towards the right side. Take a breath here. And then bring your knees through center and lower them towards the left. And take a breath. And then bring your knees back through center. Once again, hands behind your knees. We're rocking up and down. Of course, only do this if this feels good on your back. Find that moment of balance maybe on those sit bones. And then we'll return onto our back body one more time. We'll meet there. Feet planted. And then your arms by your side. We're coming into a bridge pose. So press into the feet and lift your hips. You could stay, or you could move a bit in your bridge. You could come up and down a few times, or you could play with the position of your feet. You could heel to toe your feet out. Take them a little wider. Take your knees too, over your ankles more or less. You could heel to toe your feet back in. You can also try lifting a heel, lifting the other, and then lowering. We'll take another inhale. Wherever you are, exhale. And then one more breath in. And on the exhale, tailbone tucks between the legs as you lengthen that lower back and lower your hips. Once again, knees into your chest, and this time we're rocking up and down, and we're going to come into a boat pose, and we're going to pause there. So feel free to do it a couple times. And then find your bum planted, your hands stay behind your knees, and now a few options. Toes down, start there, then broaden your chest, shoulders down and back, and then if you can keep your torso in this place, just like this, try lifting one shin, one foot. Maybe try lifting the other. Notice if you begin to round or you begin to lean back, and if that's the case, I would return to toes down and a place where you can roll your shoulders a few times. So that this is not super, super, super effortful. There's some effort, but there's also some ease. Take another breath. And then on your exhale, we're coming into a reverse table. So we're going to plant the feet. The hands are going to come behind us. Your fingers could point towards your hips, but you also could turn your fingers out some. Find the right position for your feet and hands so that when you lift, your knees are more or less over your ankles, your shoulders are over your hands. A squeeze through the glutes. See if that chest can come up a little higher. And then on your exhale, return to your boat pose, whatever version you chose. But again, prioritize that broadness through your chest. And again, your shoulders can move around. Breath in. And again, we're coming back to table. Exhale, plant hands and feet and lift those hips. Take a breath here. Maybe you lift your toes, give them a wiggle. And then return one more time, finding your boat pose. Maybe the legs can straighten. Again, your shoulders can still move, your neck, so it's not super, super stressful. Another breath in. And last reverse table. Exhale, plant hands and feet, lift your hips. Take a breath here. And then release. Nice job. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees go wide. And then your hands could be a little behind you, framing your hips maybe, but then begin to bounce your knees a few times up and down. And so let them get a bit momentum, kind of like a rebound action. And then pause that. We're going to stack the right knee over the left and look towards the right. And then come back through center. And then stack the left knee over the right and look over the left. And come back through center, another one like that. Look right. And center. And look left. And then come back through center, extend your right leg out to the side, bring your left foot in. See if you can get your shoulders over your hips, and if not, sit on something like a little folded blanket or pillow. Your right toes are pointing up, your right knee is pointing up, and then on the inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, a side bend to the right, right hand to the inside of that right leg as you reach up and over. Inhale, return, center. Exhale, left hand behind you. Find a gentle or a simple twist towards the left. And then we'll go again. Inhale, back through center. Right hand, right leg, side bend. Keep your torso or chest open. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left hand behind you. Right hand crosses, twist. Inhale again, center. Exhale, side bend. And inhale, center. Now on your exhale, a little different. So the left hand, instead of behind you, is going to come a little out to the left. And then we're going to come onto the left shin. And we're going to lift the hips. You're planting your right foot and you're finding a lot of space in the right side body. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, sit back down. And then we'll switch sides. Right leg is going to come in. You could do this without your hands. Left leg is going to go out. Find again that action through your left leg, toes drawing up or towards you. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up. We'll do the same thing on this side. Left hand or left arm to the inside of that left leg as you side bend any amount. Broaden right side chest. Inhale, return, center. And then find your twist towards the right hand behind you, left hand crosses. Let's do that again. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Side bend, exhale. And inhale, center. And this time, exhale, right hand a little further back. Come onto the right shin, onto that left foot. Lift your hips. Let's squeeze through the glutes. Extra stretch left side. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, return those sit bones down, hands down. From here, cross your ankles. And we're going to try and make our way up to stand. Option to do it without your hands. Option to give your, put your fingers on the ground and give yourself a little push up. So see where you're at. And then we're coming all the way into mountain pose. And crossing the legs. And just take a moment as you arrive here to feel your feet on the ground. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders more or less stacked. And then we'll use the next inhale to sweep those arms up. On your exhale, left arm down for a side bend. Inhale back through center. And exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale back through center. On your exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Try that again. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. And halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, fold. On your inhale, bend your knees, rise into chair pose. And as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, right arm down, side bend. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, rising up. This time on your exhale, hands behind you, interlace those fingers. Send the knuckles towards the floor and broaden chest. And now on your exhale, fold forward. See if you can keep the interlace of the fingers. A bend in the knee, great idea. Your knuckles might reach up towards the ceiling, or maybe those arms drop some overhead. Chin towards the chest, crown of the head towards the floor. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. With your next inhale, release your hands, halfway lift. And on your exhale, plant your hands and step it back into downward facing dog. Now in your downward facing dog, find a little movement, a few times just gently bending and straightening through the knees. And then the next time that your right knee is bent, pause there. Your left leg is straightening, your left heel is dropping, and then turn your torso and your gaze under your left armpit. So it's like your right shoulder is dropping towards the floor. See if you can find that. Keep pushing down through the left heel. Keep pushing away with the hands. Big stretch for the back of the left leg and a twist through the torso. And then bring yourself back, and then we'll switch. Left knee bends, we're pausing there. The right heel drops heavy towards the mat. You're still pushing the floor away with your hands, and then you turn the chest some towards the right, under that right armpit. It's almost like your left shoulder drops a bit more towards the floor. Take a breath in and out. And then bring yourself back through center. We're rolling out into plank pose. Inhale. And we're returning to downward facing dog. Exhale. 2 more like that. Imagine a wave as you come out into plank. And then a wave as you move back into down dog. 1 more time. From your downward facing dog, walk your feet back to your hands or up to your hands. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise into chair, arms forward and up. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. Inhale, straighten legs and arms. Side bend, exhale. Back through center, inhale. And to your other side, exhale. Back through center, inhale, sweep your arms wide and again bring them behind you, but switch the interlace of your fingers. Send the knuckles towards the floor. Open up through the chest, breath in. And on your exhale, fold. See if you can keep that interlace. Once again, crown of the head towards the floor, maybe the knuckles towards the ceiling, or maybe going forward overhead. Breath in. And a breath out. On your inhale, release that, find a halfway lift. And as you exhale, return to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. With your next inhale, lift your heels. And on your exhale, to a count of 5, lower the knees to the mat. See if you can stay in down dog through the upper body. 5 and 4. 3, 2, knees hovering for 1, and the knees down. Bring the hands under your shoulders and the knees under your hips. With your next inhale, a slow cow pose, lifting the tailbone first, dropping through the belly, opening through the chest, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. On the exhale, a slow cat, drawing the chin in, broadening shoulder blades, rounding lower back, and tucking tailbone. And then two more cows and cats at your own pace, slow or a little faster. But make sure that this movement through the whole spine and that no part overtakes or distracts you from moving other parts that might not be as mobile. And then we'll meet with a neutral spine. We're going to take the right arm out to the right and up towards the ceiling. Try to rotate through your rib cage and let your arm follow. And then make a fist and rotate that wrist a few times in one direction. And then a few times in the other. Opening up that hand, take a full breath in. And then swim that arm forward, down, back, and up. And take another swim forward, down, back, and up. And then 2 back strokes, back, down, forward, up, and again. And then once you get to the top, thread right arm under left as you turn to the left. And then again, open to the right, maybe look up if that's available, and thread, exhale to the left. Another one, inhale, open, and exhale, thread. As you inhale, we open, and on the exhale, lower that hand and return to your table pose. Come back to a couple cows and cats. Again, see if you can slow things down to feel all the parts of your spine move. And one more time. And then find again that neutral spine, sweep that left arm out and up, make that fist, and find some rotation here. And as you do this, don't forget about your bottom hand, about the rotation through your rib cage. And then open up that hand, spread those fingers and swim forward twice. And when you're ready, swim backwards twice too, at your own pace, with your breath. We'll meet with the arm lifted, and then we'll thread left arm under right and turn to look right. And then do that again, open up, left, and turn, thread right. One more. On your inhale, open, and then return to your table pose, exhale. Take an inhale into your cow. And this time on your exhale, tuck your toes and find bear pose, which is like a down dog, but with your knees really bent. Or it's almost like an active child's pose. So your knees are off the ground. You're on the balls of the feet. Your upper body is more like a down dog. And then from here, begin to lift your hips, straightening any amount the legs and lowering your heels towards the ground. And take a full breath in and a full breath out. With your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, arms might lift. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, straighten legs and arms. For a side bend, you might grab a hold of your wrist and pull it over. And then back through center and switch other side. Back through center. With your next exhale, arms go wide and fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, lift the heels just like before. Try lowering the knees slowly for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Knees to the ground, back into table pose. A little bit with the legs now. So as you inhale, your left leg is going to extend out behind you. See if you can keep it lifted in line with your hips and your shoulders, and then find some rotation through your ankle. Try to spread your shoulder blades left to right, rotate in the other direction. And then point those left toes away from you, breath in. And on your exhale, knee to chest and round your spine. Inhale, extend. Knee to left elbow, exhale. Inhale, extend. Knee to right elbow, exhale. On your inhale, extend, pivot on your right knee, side plank or supported side plank to your left. Left leg lifted or left foot resting down. Maybe left arm by your ear, palm facing down if you'd like. Now, a few little things here. Can you push your hips in the direction of that you're facing? So for me, towards the screen. Can you find a little bit more space in your chest? And take another inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Return to your table pose. Cow and cat before the other side. Breath in and breath out. And then find that neutral spine, and let's take it to the right. Right leg extends. And keep it lifted, and just move your ankle, your foot. A few rotations in one direction. A few in the other. Slow it down. Try to keep your hips level. And then point the toes away from you. Breath in. And on your exhale, draw that knee into your chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale to left elbow. On your inhale, extend, and now pivot on your left knee and your side plank now towards the right. Supported side plank, the knee is down. Right foot lifted or resting on the ground, perfectly good idea. Maybe right arm by your ear as you reach those right fingers away from that right foot. As you find a bit more space, squeeze through the glute. Another breath in, a breath out. And the last one here, inhale. And as you exhale, hands return to the mat, table pose. Take a breath in, cow. And now on your exhale, make your way into a child's pose. If the back body is feeling kind of compressed, especially the lower back, keep your knees together and make this child's pose about rounding through the back body. If you feel that you need a bit more lengthening, take your knees wide and then extend that spine forward and down. Wherever you are, breathe into any part of the body, just like we were doing at the beginning, that visualization of areas of the body that feel constricted, and that expansion of the inhales begins to reach those parts of the body. So see if you can do that here too. And then you use your exhales to soften, to release some of that effort. And take one more breath. And then from your child's pose, we'll make our way back into down dog. So your own way. This time we're going to make that down dog a little different. So take your feet a bit wider to the edges of your mat maybe, and make your down dog a bit shorter. So your hands might walk a bit closer to your feet. Now see if you can plant your heels, the heels of the feet, and then maybe even lift your toes. And as you keep pushing the mat away with your hands, see or notice a bit more weight coming into your legs, a little bit more ease, maybe around the neck area. And then you could look from side to side, releasing tension from the neck. Now, hands are going to come closer together, maybe like your thumbs come to touch. And then the right hand is going to walk underneath us towards the left leg. And then if you can get a hold of the left leg, you're going to pull your chest towards that left thigh. Now try to keep your hips kind of stable. A little bend into your left elbow. It's almost like you're looking, well, you are looking under your left armpit. The head is heavy. And if you find that this is not at all relaxing, you might bring your hands and feet a bit closer together. And then release this side, return the right hand, thumbs touching, and then we'll do the same with the left. So left hand now is going to cross towards the right leg, and see if you can grab a hold of somewhere on that right shin or ankle. And then once you've got a grip, you're pulling your torso towards that right thigh, your head kind of, or you're turning your gaze up under that right armpit. And any amount here, breathing. And then when you're ready, release this side. And now walk your hands all the way towards your feet. So a wide leg forward fold towards the back of your mat. You could do a little bit of a sway from side to side, holding onto opposite elbows. I find there's always room for extra release through the neck. You might find that if you draw the chin towards the chest, the back of the neck gets a bit longer, the head will get a bit heavier. Another breath. And then with your next inhale, slowly unroll your spine as you rise all the way up to stand. Give your shoulders a lift up by your ears and then roll them down the back. And now stay with your feet wide, more or less parallel to one another. But we'll find a bit of a stretch for maybe lower back. So as you inhale, you can reach your arms overhead. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Take it first into a side bend and then rotate forward. Kind of forward diagonally towards the right, and see if you can catch that stretch around left lower back, back of the left ribs. So you've got to keep pulling. Your lower belly is drawing up and in, and it's almost like you were pushing this area of the body back, and you countering it with this pull forward of your left wrist. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you slowly circle yourself back up. And then the same thing on the other side, switching wrist, left hand, right wrist. We'll find that side bend. And then we take it diagonally towards the left and forward. As we push that right lower back back, we pull that right wrist towards the left and forward. Breathing in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, circle back up and then release. Let your arms dangle down by your side. Maybe your shoulders are rolled. Just notice any sensations in the body. And then from here, we're going to fold. So on your inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Feet are still wide. Walk your hands to the top of the mat and find a wide leg plank pose. You're on the balls of the feet. And now from here, see if you can drop your heels towards the right side. So you're turning your torso a little bit, or your hips towards the left actually. And then come back onto the balls of the feet. And then drop your heels towards the right. You're turning your hips towards the drop your heels towards the left, you're turning your hips to the right. Sorry. And then one more time, if you'd like. Center, switch, and center, and last side. And then as you inhale, come back through center, lower your knees down, bring the big toes to touch, and back into child's pose. Knees a bit closer or knees a little wider, you choose. If your wrists are feeling like a counter pose, turn your palms to face up and then curl your fingers in, curl your palms in some. Full breath in. And a full breath out. And another one. And then as you inhale, begin to lift your spine. And we'll make our way into a seat, legs in front of us. So we're going to come back to that diamond shape. The soles of the feet together and the knees wide. And again, you could have your hands out to hips, a little behind you. And then just like we did before, right knee is going to stack on top of left. And turn your gaze over your right shoulder. And then come back. And then left knee on top of right and gaze over the left. And come back. And now we're going to change things up. So now right knee is going to lift, right foot is going to go out, and right knee to left heel. And then return. And same thing with the left knee to right heel. And return. One more of each. And last one. And then from here, flutter those wings a little bit again. Find that rebound with your legs. And then pause that. Extend your right leg out to the side. Again, just like we started with. The left heel in towards the thigh. Find your sit bones. Find that spine lifted. And on the inhale, reach your arms tall. As you exhale, folding forward. So folding, reaching forward and down, but fold from your hip creases. So if it's helpful, bring your hands or your fingers to your hip creases. As you go forward and down, feel how they're getting sandwiched. Your spine is still neutral. So your chest is still broad. Your shoulder blades are still more drawing towards one another than spreading or going forward. And then your head, see if you can keep it in line with your spine. So for most of us, we've got to push the back of the head back a bit. And the chin needs to tuck a little bit more towards the chest. Once you've got the flexion through your hips, then you can bring the hands forward. Maybe you rest them under your chest. And take a couple breaths. And then on your inhale, rise up. You could sweep your arms overhead if you'd like. And as you exhale, release. Arms down, and without using your hands, if you can, see if you can switch the legs. Left leg goes out, right foot comes in. Same idea, keeping that left leg active, left knee stays pointing up, toes are drawing towards the shin. You could sweep your arms overhead. Find that hinge from your hips. Maybe your fingers return to the hip creases to bring awareness there. You keeping your spine neutral, that includes the neck. And maybe once you've got the hinge from the hips, the flexion at your hips, then your hands come forward. Then take a breath here. And then as you inhale, once again, lifting that spine, maybe lifting those arms if you'd like. And as you exhale, release those arms by your side, bend both knees and plant both feet. We're coming back onto our back body. So however you'd like to, but I'll meet you there. And however you do it with intention, with presence and with breath. And then once you are on your back, your head is down. Find length through the back of the neck. Remember, you could put your head on a folded blanket to help the chin come a little bit more towards the chest. Once you get there, we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest, and then we'll cross the right thigh over the left thigh. Now you could stay here, or you could find a block or even a wall next to you. We're going to drop the knees towards the left side. So it's quite a twist. It's can be quite intense. Before you drop the knees towards the left, just shift your hips a little bit right, and then let your knees drop left. And as I say, they could drop onto a block, onto a pillow, maybe something a bit higher like a wall might feel good. And if you feel that it's too intense, uncross the legs, uncross the thighs, and try it like that. You could let the head turn towards the right side. But then once again, visualize that expansion of your inhales reaching areas that feel constricted and tight. And then let the exhale soften those areas. A couple more breaths on this side. And then begin to unwind. Unwinding those knees. And before we go to the other side, give your knees a hug into your chest and rock a little bit, lifting and lowering your sacrum. Maybe a few little circles, massage for the lower back area. And then when you feel ready, we'll cross the left thigh now over the right. And feet plant. Shift your hips a little bit left, and then drop the knees towards the right side. You might find one side doesn't have as much give as the other. And that's fine. Again, those props, great idea. And for the next 3 to 5 breaths, once again, visualize inhales, reaching those tight areas. Exhale, softening them. And then slowly unwind. Once again, just take a few movements to counter that, whatever those may be. It might be, again, knees to chest, rocking up and down. It might be some stillness, hands on the belly. Eventually, we all are going to make our way into stillness for Shavasana. So as you feel ready, find that comfortable position. Find an open mouth exhale and drop into it. The practice of not doing, possibly as important as the doing. Shavasana. Feel free to take a longer Shavasana if you have the time. If not, with intention, with awareness, use your breath to begin to move the body. And taking your time to eventually find a seat. And meeting with hands resting in the lap, or maybe hands resting at your chest. As always, acknowledging here the practice and the endless opportunities to tune inward, learn about ourselves. Acknowledging ourselves for choosing to practice today. Acknowledging all those who have practiced with us. And acknowledging those who have made it possible. And we end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.